Funds.
What up? What up, New Gaming Order? This is Alexlexus, Shinwar, and Smart Brother Nupe hitting you with the head crush and the juggernaut punch. Coming at you for a special show called by Shinwar, and we are going to be reviewing Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, many of you know that this movie has been released, and it had an interesting number for box office opening. I think it's 140 mil on the first
Nah,
weekend.
it's oh yeah.
Yeah, but it also is having the quickest drop off as well. So, with that being said, I wanted to give everybody a chance to do a quick intro. So, Shinwar, what you got for us, man?
Just ready to talk about Batman versus Superman.
Catman, all right, that's awesome. And Snoop, intro, man, how you been?
Just call me Snoop.
I didn't call you Snoop.
Um, I'm ready to talk about it too, man. I saw a lot of reviews online. Guys, don't let the reviews sway you away from this. I gotta say for now.
Let us sway you.
Well,
Hello.
actually, I'm gonna disagree with Shinwar because I had saw a meme of Brandon Ross Superman, and it was showing like you reading the reviews of Batman versus Superman, but you're going anyway, and they keep shooting at Superman like he's impervious. Like what the heck? It was funny. You had to see it. I'm gonna put it in the background if I can find it while these guys are talking. But since Shinwar called this, I'm gonna let him start
I
the
did.
program. So, Shinwar, you got the floor.
Yeah, this will be a review slash spoilers. So if you most everybody's seen the movie already, but if you haven't, please beware. Disclaimer: this will be a spoiler
Yes.
filled podcast.
Yes.
So we're
Yes.
gonna jump right into it. Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, and I'm currently watching Justice League War just for the heck of it
Hmm.
on Netflix. So let's jump right into it. So, well, my review of it, I gave it a 6. Everybody says, "Oh, Shinwar, why'd you give the movie a 6?" I felt like the pacing and the editing of the film was incoherent, and a lot of things jumped over the place. But they did say that the Blu-ray will be a longer rated R cut of it, and there was actually the ending scene, which leaked on the actually on the Dawn of Justice website of Lex Luthor being captured by the police. I think it was the SWAT team or whatever. And there was something that took place. So if you're wondering how did he know about Darkseid um, when he was in prison talking to Batman,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
scene explains it. So clearly there were a lot of scenes cut from the movie. So if you're like, oh, why did this happen or that, how that person know this
Hmm.
particular information? Well, there were scenes that were cut.
Now,
So, yeah,
can I
go ahead.
interject real quick? I think
What?
Batman versus Superman suffered from the same problems that I've heard happen with Age of Ultron, Avengers 2. Now, I haven't
Yeah,
seen Age of Ultron
I
yet,
saw it.
yeah, and apparently they're saying that there was so much cut from the movies that it made certain things not gel. And unless you're like a true fan of the comics and whatnot, you would understand like, well, you can kind of guesstimate and piece it together. But for like me and Shinwar were talking on the phone a few days ago, and it was like what they need to understand is for a lot of new generation people just being introduced to Batman and Superman, this is their comic. So you have to do it right and not have it where it's just all over the place as Shinwar elected to before. So
yeah.
if bad editing could have been a major culprit with that,
Well,
and
yeah, and once again, this is just all this is in my opinion on what I was looking for,
mhm.
and we're not going to compare this movie to any Marvel movies or any other films. It's its own movie, so I'm not going to say, oh, it should have been like this. No, DC and Warner Brothers wanted to establish their own tone and own movie, so I'm gonna stay in the lane of just talking about this movie. So yeah, I felt like that was another issue. The fight scene, the fight scenes I was fine with.
You
I felt
were?
like the Batman and Superman fight could have been a little longer. I did like the scene where he went after Martha Kent where Batman was fighting by himself. I wasn't too keen on the whole killing. That's probably another topic. But yeah, where everybody knows Batman's number one policy is no killing, no guns. And I understand this is a different Batman or whatever, but I wasn't feeling that.
Well,
And then just the ending.
can I interject? We
Hold on,
got,
let me just finish.
yeah, I'm
Let me
trying to
finish.
pace it so that like what you're saying, we can all respond at the same time. So this way it doesn't get lost. You know
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'm just saying why I gave it a six, and I'm gonna close it right here. I just felt like the ending. I just felt like Doomsday. They did Doomsday and the death of Superman so early. I just felt like there could have been another threat to pull Batman, Superman, and obviously Wonder Woman, the Trinity as they call them in the end. I just felt like Doomsday shouldn't have been that character.
All right. So, Noop, what are your thoughts? Because what I was trying to interject with, the fight between Batman and Superman, I was very disappointed with, and the reason for that, a lot of people
That was the
give
reason.
they're crucifying Zack Snyder for his inability to properly capture a fight. But I somewhat disagree because at the ending of Man of Steel, when Zod and Superman were fighting, I thought that was great. That was excellent. And some people like, oh, they went too far with it, right? Okay, I'd rather them go too far than to go too little, because there was an expectation that I had, considering Zod Superman fighting. Oh man, Batman's gonna be in it. Like, it, I'm gonna wait till I get like a full turn to go. But it just
You go next.
You
yeah,
might as well go. Take your turn.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
Keep
because
talking. Go for it.
I think that the fight, like, I agree with Shinwar that it was too short. I think that I am pro Superman, but I'm not anti Batman. But it was a little too one sided for my takes, because not even in the Frank Miller Batman Returns turn of events, that Superman was getting beat up so badly. And the three times that Batman was using kryptonite, or the mineral that it was introduced in this movie, it's like everybody knows, Angry Joe and all those folks, without that, there's no chance. But the fact that, like, even with Superman being affected by kryptonite, in the comics it's depicted that, Batman's punching him, it's like hitting Kevlar. Okay, fine. Superman seems to recover.
That movie was good.
Oh.
What the hell did he?
All right, let's try to keep it tight. Like, Shintakuma joined. Give us a heads up, but this way we can kind of, allocate proper timing for it. But with that being said, Superman seemed to recover from the kryptonite rather quickly. I don't know if that was the case in the comics, but Batman had, like, a limitless supply, so to speak, and that kryptonite spear. I think, like Shinwar was saying, Batman seemingly being more ruthless. Like, he's an older Batman. Maybe, the death of Robin hardened his heart or changed his ways. And it looked like he was going to stab Superman right through the face. But even with that fight, for Batman to be, like, so dominant in that, Superman was trying to restrain him. And obviously you saw the reluctance through the fight. You know what I mean? That could have just been done differently, considering that, me in Dimensional Free Play mode, pretty much we're talking and saying that this, in essence, is a kind of unofficial sequel to Man of Steel. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you got your flagship guy there, you still want to keep him elevated. You don't want him getting busted up like that. Next, Wonder Woman. I think she was shoehorned into the movie.
What?
Yes, she
Well,
was.
hold on, real quick,
Oh,
Alex.
wait.
What score did you give the movie?
Well, when I'm done, I'll kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think that
Tell me how to get my.
what's happening is, I think that they pretty much rushed the DCU because they're trying to keep up with Marvel. Now, Wonder Woman, like, Gal Gadot, I give her credit. I think that she did a better job than I thought she was going to do. She looked the part. The CG helped it a whole lot. You know what I mean? That I will give it a lot of credit for. But as far as she didn't really need to be there. I was looking for
Yeah.
more of the world's finest story
Hmm.
to be told, as opposed to this was like taking world's finest, Death and Return of Superman, and Batman, and putting it in a blender and just hoping, well, because it's Batman, people are gonna like it, you know. But with that being said, I think that I felt it was rushed. The editing kind of made it seem like it was all over the place. But Zack Snyder, I don't think uh, he did a horrible job. I just think he could have done a better job on some elements. The movie was a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be, but I think that because of the presence of Batman, they had to kind of adapt, the environment for the character. Now Ben Affleck, some people will disagree. I think that he did an excellent job
Yeah,
when
he did a good job.
when he
I agree.
when
I
he
agree.
when he was Batman. When he was Batman, I was like, I like that better than the Christian Bale one because he looked more traditional to the cartoon.
Nah, he can never be Christian Bale. I'm sorry.
Shut up. Go ahead.
I'm
Let him
sorry.
finish his turn.
Yeah, so with that being said, I think that to me, he pulled off Batman. Like he looked the part, he got in shape. Ben Affleck, excellent job. Henry Cavill, he maintained his shape. He looked like Superman. He did all the characters for the most part in this Trinity. They look like their counterparts. So I'm not too mad at that. Pacing of the film in the beginning was kind of slow for me, but maybe again, this was pretty much loading up for the next films, which brings me to the Justice League and all the cameos with the files. I'm like, okay, why is Batman the one to get access to what Luthor, and how did Luthor know about it? You know what I mean? It's just certain people was knowing things that they shouldn't have, or either again the editing is just like what like. I mean, there's more, but like in discussion, I kind of do better when I'm responding to folks while they're doing their thing. But overall, I don't hate the movie. I'm just not as, I guess the bar was set high with Man of Steel, and it kind of let me down. So I'm like at a 6.5. To be generous, that I would give it a 7, but 7, that's really like pushing it. But 6.5, being that it's not horrible. But there's just a lot more. But I can probably go on and on and on about it. But I want to give Noop a chance to say his piece on the movie. But
Why?
What?
Why?
He said, "Wow."
Oh, how you kick people out again?
All right, go ahead, Noop.
Try it.
All right.
Oh, the music's out.
The mute help me. Oh, hold on. Let me concentrate. All right. For me personally, I'm gonna
He
start
not
by
wrong.
saying I gave the movie an 8.
Huh?
Shut up. I gave it an 8 for various reasons. Number one, I think part of why some parts of the movie were missing was because they basically almost fast forwarded you through both character stories. It's like they reintroduced Batman's story, then reintroduced Superman's story.
Mm-hmm.
Those people who were under rocks and have never seen a Batman or Superman movie, film, cartoon, or video game or comic in their life. So
Okay.
it gave you a quick gist of things. Um, what I liked the most about the movie was how they truly appealed to Superman's human side. Like they
Mhm.
showed a lot of his personal internal conflicts with, I'm Superman, I'm here to help you guys, but it's never going to be good enough. They're always going to find something wrong with what I try to do. I would never turn my back on you guys.
Mm.
But it's like the whole world is turning on them. And you never really get to see that. It's always, oh, we love you, Superman, blah, blah, blah. So now it's more of his internal plight.
Yep.
Batman, you got to see him turn to a darker, more, I guess, realistic person. Like, yo, this whole going nice on these bad guys and they get out 3 months later, I'm done with that, yo. I'm going to brand these cats like cattle. Let them know, if you think of doing something stupid, look at your shoulder where I got you sliced up, yo.
Like a reminder, like, hey, like, don't do it. Don't do it.
That in response to what someone said, I think it was you that said why Batman don't want to find the files. and he's the detective of the group. It makes sense, you know. He broke into Luthor's, you know, snuck into his party or whatever, downloaded the files. Then Wonder Woman stole it from him. Then he found the hidden files. I think,
and still in the kryptonite too.
The questions that weren't answered in this were patches that they needed in the next movie. I'm gonna tell you why. Typically, the sequel to any movie and video game as well, they tend to lack a lot of story and just pack a bunch of action into it. And I think if they take the time and focus on the second movie, given probably not as much story but more information than in this movie, probably get a better response overall. The Batman Superman fight was perfect, in my opinion, because shut up. I said in my opinion, it was perfect because, like Alex said, yeah, people were let down, but Superman was showing restraint. Everyone knows his weakness is Lois Lane and his mom. Like, seriously, like if there's a hostage situation, he's gonna give in, no doubt, no questions asked. Batman gonna go in there and pop cat and save you anyway, and just hope you don't end up hurt. But he's gonna come in there. He doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Whereas Superman is like, okay, you know, I'll back down. Like, he kneels before Lex Luthor. Like, what the heck? Like, you'll never get Batman to do that. If that was Batman's mom kidnapped, she would have got popped, yo. But yeah, it was kind of weird too how man was able to recover fairly quickly from the kryptonite, especially since it wasn't just external. He was breathing it in. I was thinking, oh, he's gonna be messed up. I mean, the fight went back and forth as much as it needed to, because
no, it didn't. No, it didn't. You know that.
Listen. No, it did, because that wasn't the point of the movie. The point of the movie was them to be united. If anything, the title of the movie was misleading versus the actual content of the movie. Because I'm thinking, you know, they're gonna end up combined, but I'm like, yo, they're gonna be going at it, yo. It's gonna be like 3 or 4 battles, and it wasn't. And then when it got to it, and I saw it in its context, Superman was already weakened going into the fight. He didn't want to fight. He was trying to get through to Batman versus killing him. So, I mean, you know, without preparation of kryptonite, yes, Superman can beat Batman. Sorry, Batman fans, that's just facts. I mean, he put a handprint in the front of his suit. He put a handprint in the front of his suit as soon as he saw him, yo. Like, he almost killed him.
Why was he punching him, and then he was just like, you know, it's not hurting me, right? He was just like, dink, 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 and Superman, and Batman was just like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have fucked with him. You know what I mean? Type thing.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, he was about to get whooped down. What the heck? All right, go ahead.
But, yeah, there were some missing pieces, and then like when the Flash came to Batman in his dream, I didn't even know that was the Flash until I talked to Shinwar. He pointed it out.
I thought it was somebody else.
Because I was like, huh, who is this guy? I couldn't make him out. It wasn't clear.
No, I thought I kind of guessed it was the Flash, because I was like, wait a minute, I had an Injustice type feel from it, and I'm just like, I knew as soon as I saw that, I said I'm gonna call Shinwar after I leave the theater to confirm, because I'm like, was that the Flash? And I know Shinwar remember that conversation. I'm like, it has to be, because he could have been going through dimensions going so fast or something, you know what I mean? So yeah.
So, I mean, that was really it for me. Didn't have as much action as I thought it was gonna have, but when it did have action, they delivered. They did heavily focus. It really felt like a Batman movie, honestly. Like, Superman was in it and went through his personal stuff, but as far as the fighting and the action, it was a majority of Batman's doing, which I felt was kind of weird. But overall, I enjoyed it because it told story, and unlike the Marvel movie, to me, the Marvel movies are good, action-packed, like 90s classic action movie. It's good, wholesome, clean fun. You're laughing throughout the movie. I didn't laugh throughout this movie. Like,
yeah, it was mad serious.
I felt like, yeah, like it was very serious, and I liked that. Like, I was drawn into the film, and I cared. I'm like, yo, like, I hope Superman don't get hurt. I hope Batman don't get hurt. Like, when something happened to him, I'm like, yo, shoot, is he gonna get up? Whereas a Marvel movie, like, when Hawkeye got popped at the beginning of that second movie, I was like, hey, he'd be okay. Like, I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? So, like, dude, it felt like threats in that movie felt like real threats. Like, it felt like real life. And I like the darker undertone. So I feel like they did a good job of painting a vivid picture of what the universe is going to look like moving forward and it makes me look forward to the next set of movies for the individual characters and the Justice League movie even more, because I like that tone and feel, like kind of like the Batman trilogy with Christian Bale. It was very serious. Like you compare it to the original movies, like it was like, what the heck is this? It's like, I don't know, but now when you look at it, it's
just real quick, the Michael Keaton Batman, the first and second one were serious. They really started. Yeah. It went down. Well, even though I still feel like Batman Forever was decent, but once you got to Forever and Batman and Robin, it was a joke.
But it started with Batman Returns. If you started looking at how, like, it was the beginning. Like, it was still the Tim Burton, the dark, clown, gothic, gritty thing going on. But if you look towards the middle, and it was starting to mix some of the goofiness in there. You know what I mean?
That was Joel Schumacher, yo.
Yeah, Schumacher.
No comment.
Yeah, but I don't want to go off on a sidebar with that. But
that's my overall. If you like, I think if you like storytelling, and you want a fresh take on Batman and Superman and a more in-depth look at who they are as people, because you also saw Batman struggle with his inner demons. He was disturbed. You know what I'm saying? He was disturbed, and you got to see that. Like, he's not sleeping, he's having nightmares of the future. Like, he was disturbed. Like, they were both very disturbed, and they felt like they had to act. And they were both pushed to the very limits of their ability. And Batman thought he was going to die. And, quote, did die, but, you know, they were pushed to their abilities. Wonder Woman, her story is yet to be told. I mean, I'm with Shinwar on that one. Y'all just kind of like, I don't know what that was.
But did you guys notice? Did you guys know?
Let me ask you this, then, Nupe. What did you feel about Doomsday and the death of Superman being in this movie so early?
I didn't know he was going to die.
That took people by surprise.
When they said they were gonna get the spear and they said Superman was gonna kill, I was like, does he die? Like, no, you can't. I didn't like that. Maybe. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah,
we can.
Oh, yeah. But I would have killed Superman in the first probably Justice League movie after everything is established, and then bring him back in the second or third movie or something like that. But now it's kind of like, what? It was weird. I wasn't expecting it. But again, he did need a triumphant moment because of the role he played. His role to me felt kind of small in the movie overall. So he needed to do something to, you know, have him go out as what he always wanted to be, which is a hero to everybody. So
and that's why I say the movie wanted to make you remember that it was a Superman movie.
Well, that kind of explains it too. You know what I mean? And when you look at how, again, I agree that the death of Superman should not have been forced so early, because in this universe, Superman was only Superman for 2 years. So like he already got like, but for those who didn't understand, like there were some kids that were at the theater that I went to that probably like, hey, Daddy, Superman's not supposed to get hurt. The kryptonite spear, because Superman was too close to it, it was degrading his cells. So when Wonder Woman cut off Doomsday's arm, it came back as like a sharp spike, and that's how he was able to stab him in the chest. You know, so yeah, whatever that was. I mean, you know, the thing with Doomsday, his conception or how he came to be in this movie, I did not like it. I
didn't like it at all.
Why were you gonna take Zod's body and, you know, use the Kryptonian computer that was only running at 37%? You know what I mean? Luthor was smart with using the laser to cut off General Zod's fingertips for the to get access to the ship, and use the Genesis chamber to kind of like, okay, if a Kryptonian's dead, it's abomination to bring it back to life through the Genesis chamber, as I kind of heard from the computer. And it was like, okay, so whatever happens, Zod's body just got deformed or whatever, you know what I mean? And he just came out as that, you know, it was ancient, or, you know, I don't know what Luthor was saying, but like they were trying to shoehorn everything from the comics as best they could, even from how Doomsday, each time you hit him with like a missile or something, he would just keep evolving or getting stronger. But
Yeah, it kept getting
Yeah.
stronger.
now you know
Hey,
from the comics, like every time you kill Doomsday, he came back immune to what killed him prior. So I
yeah.
think that that's how
Exactly.
they were
Yeah.
trying to take that and put that
Here's
in
the
the movie.
thing. You have two types of people watching this movie. Actually, you could say three, but I'll condense it into two. You have the quote unquote casuals, and then you have the hardcore comic fans. So, most likely, the movie appealed to the casuals and they loved it.
Hmm.
But for the hardcore comic fans, um, they're going to dice this movie up, not in a negative way, but they're saying, hey, look at this, look at that, this doesn't add up, why'd you do this, why'd you do that? And it's not nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking, but it's dissecting because these people love these characters.
Hmm. Hmm.
These characters have been around since the 30s, since the 40s, since the 50s, and so on. So there's so much history. We just want to see it done right.
Hmm.
Same thing with the Marvel movies, not to compare, but we want to see the stories being told right. And let's think about this. If this was done during Christopher Reeve's time, it would not work.
You think so?
That's technology. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about in regards to technology and script writing. Let's be real. If you look back at the old Superman movies, um, even though Superman 1, 2 was good, 2 was real good.
Hmm.
But when you look at was it the Quest for Peace? That
3 and
movie was
4.
a flop. That movie was a
Oh,
that movie was a flop.
wait, radioactive man and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
flop. You see what I'm saying? So we just want to see the things done right. And I'm not saying that it was a complete garbage. No, I was disappointed and I stated my points. But you know what? Hey, there's still room to improve.
I can see that, and with I think how they went about the whole death of Superman. Right now, okay, Superman's out of commission, right?
Hmm.
So Batman is somewhat like now the Tony Stark. He's gonna be the guy to pull everybody together, right?
Oh,
And
where's
Right.
that? Where's that?
yeah, there was a
Hold on,
link
hold
I
on.
sent to
Who's
Shinwar.
echoing?
Wait, somebody
I
echoing?
think.
No, I'm not echoing. But yeah, like I was saying, it's
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hey, me.
yeah. What's it seems like? Okay, you kill Superman as a story tool to justify the union of the Justice League. If you have Superman all powerful, why would you need a Justice League? You know what I mean? I think Zack Snyder was saying it in one of his what was it? It was an
I
article that I'm
think if
gonna
you
pull
look
up.
more in depth into the movie, you will see why you need probably multiple superheroes because how
Who asked you, Takuma? Where you
because
come from?
I've been here for a minute.
Nobody called you on this podcast.
Shut up! I'm always gonna be around. Shut up.
All right, go ahead, go ahead. Hmm.
No, the movie for me. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it a 9. I just didn't like the fact
A nine.
Yeah, one because I got one because I didn't like the fact how Superman died at the end. He should have died.
Yeah, well,
Shut
not
up.
well. He it's gonna happen. Well, it happened in the comics, so at least
It should have happened the way in the comic book how it happened. That's how he should have died. And then I don't like the fact how they introduced Doomsday. I like the fact how they introduced him because why would you use Zod's body to make a supervillain? That I did not understand. That's
So how would you have had introduced Doomsday to
See,
Kuma?
that's the
not
whole
at
thing.
all. Not
That part
in
I'm
this
not really
movie.
sure about. But then again, he should have been
What?
introduced in a whole different way. But as using his body, that was like,
I've been in the movie
okay.
at all.
I'm like, did that happen that way, or was it a different way? They could have done that. But
Was
it was more key points to like when everybody was saying the Flash came back from the time to warn Bruce Wayne. See, I didn't know who that was in the beginning. I'm
What?
thinking like I didn't know who that was exactly. As far
Not a
as in when he
fan.
had that dream about somebody coming back from the past to warn him about Martha and Martha Kent, and that's the key. I'm like, who the hell is that? It left me wondering, like, probably like, who the hell is that? I'm like, okay,
You know he didn't say Martha Kent was the key.
It was
He said Martha or something like that. I was trying to
no. I think I know what you're saying. He was saying Lois because that
okay.
could
It was
potentially
Lois.
make
Lois, okay.
Superman bad. Because if you play Injustice, the other timeline, Joker set up Superman to kill Lois, and he became like bad. You know, so
Now, yeah, I'm still trying to figure that part out. As far as in the statue,
yeah,
like,
it was
he
the
wrote on it. I'm
Flash.
like, okay.
Yeah,
But you know, the movie sets up for the next couple come sequels, and you know, of course, I was trying to figure out who the files were, and I was talking about the symbols. But when I started seeing the killer, okay, that's Wonder Woman, that's the Flash, that's Cyborg, that's Merman. And I was like, oh, I'm like Merman.
Merman.
Yeah, I'm sorry, not Merman. I was thinking of somebody.
Aqua.
Aquaman. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. Now I know
From
how
E-Man, yo.
the next. I'm sorry, because I was in the store earlier. They had that cartoon play. I was like, oh my god, sorry. But Aquaman, I was thinking they may play like more of a small part, like Wonder Woman's introduction. As far as I thought, the other characters may play like a small part, just not showing them, just like have them around the city or something like that. I thought that they'd be more introduced, but I mean, overall for me, Ben Affleck did his thing with Batman. He had never beat Bale, but
that's subject to opinion because I think that Christian Bale, I felt that he was forcing himself as Batman. You know, like the voice thing. Come on now. You know, like the way that they did. Hold up. Like the thing with Christian Bale, he was forcing that voice. He was like some dude who's just stayed up a little bit too late and was at a concert screaming all night. You know what I'm saying? But with the way that Ben Affleck's Batman did yeah, they had that voice distorter, so it was like I like that a little bit better. You know what I mean? So.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the difference. There is no way you can say Ben Affleck's Batman is better than Christian Bale's.
They're different.
One versus
okay,
three.
You're right. You know what?
Versus three full movies. Because here's the thing. As Bruce Wayne, he was very dark, very callous. He was an older Bruce Wayne. He was a very different person. Christian Bale was the young playboy Bruce Wayne who was just coming into Batman. So there was the immaturity and things like that. Whereas you see how much smarter he was in this new movie, and he wasn't getting beat up like much either.
It depends on what you're comparing, though.
Didn't he? Is how they show Batman's parents once again dying. We got so many different versions of his parents.
Nah, but hold on. Let me interject there. Hold on. Okay. This was not an origin story. That's why they did it during the credits to make it go by real quick because everybody knows the origin story. So that's why they still showed it.
Right. I just like, okay, look, we all kind of know how Bruce's parents died. All right. We know how he died.
But not everybody knows, Takuma. That's why they got to catch people up. That's why they did it like that.
All right, I agree. Yeah, it was to me. It was just like, okay, we already know how he died. Let's skip to it. But it just, in fact, in general, just how he played Batman, it was okay. I mean, I can't knock him for it, but he played his part. Now the fight scene between Batman and Superman, I'm kind of like in between because I was expecting just a little bit more excitement, but and sometimes Batman was kicking Superman's. Yeah, so I was like,
that's what I'm.
The kryptonite, but I was like, okay, really? Like
they went too far with that fight, man.
I'm like, wait, hold on, this is Superman, and I didn't like what New said earlier. I did like that part where this man had to kneel down to Lex. I'm like, oh hell no, I would have blasted him. I'm sorry.
No, but he had his mom.
But you don't know what his mother is.
Yo, he had his mom hostage. Yo, look the pictures, yo. The pictures. I'm like, yo.
You're not Superman.
I'm like, he could at least shut up his arm or his leg and just force him to say something. You know, he can just kill him like, hey, look.
You're dealing with a psychotic.
Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, Takuma. Okay. If Superman would have did that, he would have been no better than Lex. That's the whole point of superheroism. Okay. Even Batman, even though he's known to break people's arm or whatever, that's what I'm saying. With the killing thing, it breaks their policy.
Yeah, and you know what? What Joker always said, hey, you know what? You're gonna break your one rule. Like, you know, they tried to corrupt the hero.
There was
you know,
no conclusive kills, yo.
Shut up. It was new. You know it, yo. Them guys in them cars, they didn't survive.
Oh, wait. Oh, time out. Some of the kills that Batman got on his counter, I think we're in the dream sequence. Like he snapped that one dude's neck or something. I'm like, what?
Nah, that was a dream sequence, but them cars and then that warehouse. Come on, yo. Come on.
Well, wait.
The
Technically, he didn't kill them. The other guys did because he made them shoot the other guys.
Okay, hold on. Alex, he didn't shoot the guy with the flamethrower. He shot that flamethrower and he blew him up, yo.
But now,
He blew him up.
but the one scene that made me like realize, like, okay, Lex is a true monster. The way he set Superman up in that courtroom, I was like,
Yo, yeah, that was
I was
dirty.
like, wait, hold on, he not sitting there. She look at this mother that said grandma's. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was foul.
Superman was like, wait, what the hell's going on? And then she looked at the dude that boom. I was like, oh my god, that was so epic. He set him up so crucial. I was like, wow.
But guess what? Shinwar had made a good point when this is like Superman still coming into his own. You know what I mean? How is it that he didn't see that? You know what I mean? And they addressed that in the movie, just like I wasn't looking for it, that type of thing. And with that popping up, it's like, damn, you know what? Yeah, that was an ultimate setup. And considering, like, I thought that was like a Heath Ledger Joker style setup situation.
I was like,
You know what I'm saying? Because that was foul. That was foul what
he
he
couldn't
did.
do nothing but sit there and be like, damn. That's how he was to say. I was like,
Let me
yo,
give y'all
right.
something else to think about. Like for the people who didn't like the fight scene, there's really no other way it could have went because I mean, Batman was in a suit of armor that was getting degraded every time it got hit by Superman.
True.
I mean, had it been there's no competitive fight. It had to be one-sided, either in the favor of one or the other. Because I mean, what Superman?
But I was expecting him to stand over him like, yeah, I'm the one who defeated you, and the whole line from.
No,
I
but
was
even
expecting that type of thing.
look, that Frank Miller thing, Superman was fighting back. He was fighting back, and not only that, when me and Demizzle from Free Play Mode kept going back and forth in that fight, he wasn't depending on the kryptonite until the end. You know what I mean? And that one where Arrow, who was it? Was that Green Arrow that shot it? And Superman caught the arrow and it deployed the kryptonite. Superman was jacked up he was down. He was down.
He was
But you see, in this movie, Superman almost recovered like instantly. You know what I mean? So it was just like, okay, I would have preferred that other fight where Superman was showing that, hey, I'm no chump. You know what I mean? The direction and the pacing of that, again, it was a letdown because I'm still on the high from that crazy DBZ fight in Man of Steel. I mean, hell, if you look at films like Matrix, what was that, Revelations, the third one, right? Where Smith and Neo were fighting, Neo knew he couldn't, like, physically destroy Smith. But he kept, he kept going at it, and then say, hey, sacrifice himself or whatever, But I did want to interject something with that, if you look at Superman, whoever came up with the character definitely took references from, a Messiah point of view.
That was Jerry Siegel.
Yeah,
back in the 30s.
Yeah, 39, right? It actually mentioned the year in the movie. It was kind of interesting that they, made a nod. But, you had the birth, you had the father sin, the son to a foreign planet, raised by somebody who was like a Joseph, figure in, Mr. Kent, growing up and everything, becoming this doer of good, trying to stir people and follow them in the sun type thing, and then birth, life, and then now they did the death. You know what I mean? So it was like that was an interesting take on that. Now, I'm not trying to get religious or anything like that because I'm trying to keep this mute. You know what I mean? Because I don't know who watches the show. I know we have a following overseas and stuff, so that's just something where. It was interesting how they were really forcing and cramming that into, now 2 movies. I would have taken it like, okay, the birth, you got that. The life, you could have did it in the second Superman movie standalone. Then do the death in a third film, if that's what they were going for. you know. But
and
there's
then
this,
bring him back in the Justice League, which most likely they're going to do anyway.
yeah. Now there's one rumor that I don't think I like too much because we know how Superman comes back. He to folks he was dead, but you know either unconscious or just really wounded, right?
Yeah,
As long as he's in the atmosphere.
Die?
No, but you see, to you know humans, they thought he was dead, but you know obviously the sun he was healing. He took a nuke when he was taking Doomsday into space.
Yeah, he did take that new life.
Yeah.
That was straight out of Frank Miller's story too.
Yeah, you know, and then you saw him. He was like all skeleton or like you know looking like the Crypt Keeper, and then he was regenerating. You know, so it's like okay. Fine and good, but if Superman can regenerate like that, what about the Kryptonian or the thing that became Doomsday? You know,
Yeah.
what if he comes back? You know what I'm saying? So that's just
Well, the difference is that thing got stabbed in the heart by the kryptonite. So
well, Superman
Yeah, we
got stabbed
probably-
in the chest. You know, but I don't want to lose track. Now, apparently, okay, if Superman, well, Zack Snyder is thinking, hey, Superman, okay, he's just going to regenerate. But he doesn't want to make it that easy. He wants the Justice League to be like, hey, our mission is to bring Superman back. It's not going to be just straightforward. And maybe they're going to have to fight Superman. Him coming back, you know, probably might not have his memories or something went wrong. You know what I mean? Or, you know, so I think that,
Cyborg.
here's the thing. I'm thinking that might be an interesting angle. That might be an interesting angle.
Well, what's gonna be good though? Somebody mentioned Cyborg. If you remember with Cyborg when they showed on the files, there was that one particular rectangle square. That's the mother box from Apocalypse, Darkseid's mother box. So that's definitely gonna play an integral part. Just like in Justice League War, that's gonna play a major part in regards to when Darkseid comes. I just hope that they really make Darkseid this unstoppable force. He, you know, in the DC comics, he's considered a new god. So, you know, when he comes, the Justice League is going to need Superman, and Superman is going to need the Justice League.
And you know what? When he returns, they got to do it in such a way where people start to salivate for Superman's return, type thing. You know?
Now, one of y'all said it best is that, okay, overall the movie was good, but I do think they're trying to give Marvel a run for their money. I think one of y'all said they're trying to catch up with Marvel.
Yeah. They're rushing.
Yeah, well,
I felt that. I was like, okay, they trying to catch up with Marvel. And
Why did
the
Slinky
whole-
Jim say no sunblock? Unbelievable.
yeah, you know, I don't think they're trying to be like Marvel in a sense. They're just trying to catch up, and there's no need
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
They need to stay in their lane, do what they do. Because at this point, Marvel. See, here's the thing. Marvel has their characters already mostly developed and established ever since Iron Man 1.
And Thor,
DC
and then yeah.
Yeah, all these characters are already they're set up. You see what I'm saying? They didn't just throw Avengers and Iron Man 3. You see what I'm saying? You don't do that. You have to storytell, and that's why story is so important. Even with fighting games, people be like, "Oh, I just want to play." No, there's a story, and the story has to be told properly.
True.
It should be told properly.
Because considering that they're establishing this whole universe, like the pace, they have to do it right. Like, okay, Darkseid is supposed to be the Thanos of the DC universe, and in the way that they're trying to set it up, right? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, they might have stumbled with this movie, but I'm sure if they get their footing, they can make a bounce back, and we should be okay.
I don't think they stumbled because they made their money, regardless of how you or not. They made their money, so it doesn't matter.
No, but guess what? They made their money, right? But they're trying to. There were reports stating that this had the biggest drop off since the initial box office since what was that Fantastic Four remake? You know, so I'm just like, ugh. But I think that's an exaggeration because it is Batman and Superman. You know, two sides of a coin. You know, so. And even with how Marvel has established their characters, Batman and Superman are like, they're household names. Everybody knows who they are. You know what I mean? So, I think even on the
Especially since Batman has the greatest superhero video game of all time.
What?
That's true. The Arkham series. That's
okay.
true.
All right, Arkham. Okay.
well,
But
Rocksteady,
let's get
they're
ready to bring this kind of to a close. Let's start wrapping this up. I mean, we can go on and on and on, and let's get everybody's grade on what they gave the film. So I gave it a 6. Alex, what did you give the movie?
well 6.57 at the most.
Okay, Noop, what was your final rating for the film?
I gave it an 8 with the hopes of a very good Justice League video game day as well.
Okay.
Please.
Shintakuma, what did you your final rating for the film?
I gave it a 9. I just didn't like how Superman died at the end.
God.
And they could have done something better than
and
that,
I
so
see
it's
NYC
just like-
Playboy is in here. Did you see the film, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And what is your final rating that you gave the film?
5 out of 10.
Okay.
Golly. Well, maybe we got to revisit with the
Yeah,
rest of the
you're gonna have
staff.
to revisit some things, guys, because you guys are it. I will not say
I
nothing
gave
until
it
I will
a-
not
I
say nothing.
gave it
I
a
will not say
6.
nothing until I will not say nothing until this podcast on Saturday, because that'll give a chance. The movie will have been out for over a week. People have time to see it, and if not,
Oh, there's a lot of spoilers in here, so we
Yeah.
kind of gave
Well,
them
you
a
know
warning.
what? That's good. I'm glad NYC Playboy mentioned that. We probably can do a part 2 to this Saturday. Where we'll have more of the team on, and we'll be able to discuss more, fully with the rest of the team. But this just was a quick review and a spoilers for the film. But what?
I'm like, where was your boy Batman during the Doomsday fight? I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know.
Just saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
hold up.
You know, y'all on his dick and everything.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Oh, he was in this with arm before.
Wait a minute. I have to respond to that.
Next time.
Wait.
He said, where was Batman? He said, where was Batman?
Hold up.
Batman ain't. Never mind. I will reserve my.
Wait. Hold up. Hey, guys.
He's so bad.
Wait. I want to. Wait. Can I respond real quick? Hold on. Let me respond real quick. Takuma, no, Playboy, you made a good point. I said this to Shinwar when I had called him after I left the movie theater. Batman is out of his class fighting these level characters. Like it was. Wait. Who was bodying Doomsday? Wait. It was Wonder Woman.
Check it out. This is what we're gonna do.
With 2 days of prep time.
Check it out, Newgamingorder. Listen, because we're actually going to be switching. We're going to be shifting gears here, and we're switching to another format. So we got some news coming out for you guys about a tournament that's going to be happening this Sunday. So we're going to be shifting gears, but make sure you tune in this Saturday for part 2 of the Dawn of Justice discussion. And we can go with this all day, but we're gonna have pretty much the entire team, and we're gonna discuss and really get into detail more with the rest of the team and get everybody's ideas about Batman versus Superman. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back. And Alex, it's on you, sir.
All right, thank you guys for joining us on this special. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Newgamingorder.com for the latest and greatest gaming news. We're going to be doing a series of backup shows, and again, join us for another segment that's going to be following this production. And for those who, there wasn't a podcast on Saturday because I was going through some stuff, and I'm going to be at Drill this Saturday. So if I can't have a production on Saturday done, I'll probably have something set up for Thursday. So stay tuned for that. So without further ado, thanks to everybody for participating. Make sure you tune in for part 2, even if I'm not a part of it. It'll be some good discussion. So this is the New Jersey Juggernaut. Shout out to Project Justice, aka the Jersey City Juggernaut. And we'll see you guys on the next show.
What the hell?